What's up, guys? Welcome back. This is your boy, Shellhead Tony, here on a beautiful, again, Tuesday night. It is September 3rd. I'm here with my beautiful counterparts. They are beautiful. Mr. Johnny Five. Johnny, how you doing?
Salud.
Good stuff. And Mr. Weizie.
What's going on?
And for those of you that don't know, this is Drinks and Toys. So whether you got a sweet tea, a tub of vodka, whatever you got going on in front of you, maybe a Bud Light, because it's, 2004, enjoy. We're happy to have you. Now,
Jack and Coke Zero.
Coke Zero. Time for a couple shameless plugs. Johnny, please go ahead.
All right, j5toys.com, free shipping. We also got Grub Sport. Don't forget, pick up the merch. Look at that shirt.
We got shirts now.
We got shirts. We got stickers. We have coloring books.
That's beautiful. And finally, it only took about 10 million years and a lot of grumbling and a lot of stupidity on my part. Shellheads, you got merch.
Oh, yeah.
So here we are with shell-head-toys.shop.fourthwall.com. You've got tank tops, hoodies, shoes. I designed them myself. Nice baseball tee. If you get caught in the rain, look over here. Some sneaks. Got a little drawstring bag. I would have done a fanny pack, but I'm not there yet. We got some leggings looking good. I don't know what the palm trees are. But guys, there's swag here. Please take advantage of it. Enjoy. We are happy to provide it for you.
Yeah.
So
that logo looks beautiful.
You know what? It's almost like somebody drew it for me. If you don't know, guys who can't see, Johnny drew it for you. It's great. All right. So last week we had a great show. Our third episode. We're probably gonna have a blooper reel. We're gonna have a really great guest on in a couple weeks. And this week we all agreed upon talking about oversaturation of toys. So, or I should say, not so much the toys, but the line itself. So, prime examples are Turtles, Transformers, even Power Rangers. Honestly, it's a lot of the toys that were the mid-90s, the Gen X toys, I guess, right? You could say that generation. So, yeah, shows that they watched or that I watched. Honestly, I'm going to be, I'm 43. So toys or shows that they watched. And toys that were available when you were a kid and so on and so forth. But there's so many people that are latching on to those lines. And it's getting overwhelming financially and really emotionally. When you go in a store, it's the same stuff. It gets a little stale. I'm looking at the same thing on the shelf. I'm like, okay, great. Another. And look, Shellheads right here, right? Turtles all day long. That's what I'm about. And I'm even to the point where I'm like, good God, how many more turtles can I have?
Yeah, it's not even like... It's not like Playmates is just releasing a crap ton of turtles.
Right.
It's 6-7 different companies are releasing turtles. So you got Playmates, Loyal Subjects, NECA, Super 7,
Mezco.
Pops, Mezco. Like, you've got all these different companies doing
and
turtles.
The third-party ones. The third-party companies, man. You've got on BuzzFeed, there's international toys that are coming out. We've got... Right. What's the other company that made giant mechs? What is it?
Joy Toy, and then you have the Heat.
Yeah, Heat Boys or whatever they call it.
Oh yeah, then you got those the Fury toys, where they do the not Michelangelo samurai turtle. Like, bro, there's just so much of it, and I think it kind of attaches to one of the things we were talking about last week about how in the toy aisle you see the same lines. You don't see the smaller toy companies anymore. You don't see the random one-off toy that a company might come out with. Like, all the big companies want the intellectual properties. They all want the IPs, and that's all we're getting. And I think that's become a real issue for the collector space. I think people are getting tired of He-Man, Turtles, Joe. They're still going to collect them because we love them. But I think as a fandom, we're all... Not all, I can't speak for everybody, but I think a good chunk is ready for a change in that.
So I guess my question would be, I guess it's no different than third-party Transformers, right? And you guys stop me if you think you know better, because I'm just looking by my perspective. So the last I remember, Playmates is Playmates, but Nickelodeon owns the rights, correct?
Yeah. Yes. As you can see right there.
Yeah, so there you go. So Nickelodeon owns the rights. But so where the hell is Nickelodeon to be like, hey, can can we stop all these other third-party companies because they're not differentiating. I haven't looked at a turtle that's third party and like not like a transformer, right? I haven't looked at a turtle that's third party and been like, that's different than original Michelangelo or Raphael or whatever.
I haven't researched it, but I don't think some of those may not actually be like actual third parties. They may actually be licensed.
Well, because they're overseas, it's a whole different licensing thing overseas. Because you have
So-
to import all those.
Even a likeness lawsuit of some kind? No.
What's Nickelodeon going to do? Go kick down somebody's door in China and take it?
Well, you mean Hut, but yeah. I don't know, man. I'm, we're talking about a very like sticky subject, and it's like we're seeing all these. I mean, dang, dude, we have Playmates in the stores, right? We have Playmates, we have NECA, we have Oil Subjects. So Playmates, NECA, Oil Subjects. You have blind bags. You have Play School, for crying out loud.
Right.
Has a set. I bought it. I'm a completist. I can't help it. But Play School. So at what point is it so damn oversaturated that the consumer, even a completist like myself, I'm to the point where I'm getting numb.
Well, I'm
I just
wondering
don't
also,
care.
especially with a line like Turtles, if part of the issue that's really for the oversaturation is for the completist, right? Like you. Because me, I don't buy the Playmates Turtles anymore. I stop them unless they release a scratch. I'm not.
Honestly, I couldn't help it. I had to get this when I saw this.
Yeah.
I mean, and
I have it. I love it.
Playmates Turtles.
same thing with the remasters.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, those fucking
I got a whole wall of them.
things are disgusting. Saw in person, not a fan. I could have gotten the whole set yesterday for $13 a piece. No, I'm good. But look, I'm not buying the Playmates. The main turtles I buy are NECA, and then I was getting Super Sevens, and now I'm cherry picking because I only want the ones based on the original toys. I think that's the only thing with turtles that's a little with where it comes out like it's a little difference is the fact that NECA's doing the cartoon, the movies, comics. That should be, I think, video game, right?
Yeah, they've had some video game ones.
So that's it. But then you have Loyal Subjects was doing some tune. They're also doing IDW, ones that nobody else is doing, at least,
Yet.
And then you had Super 7 doing the figures based on the original toys. So, like, at least they weren't stepping on each other's toes where everybody's doing cartoon or everybody's doing
Super 7.
Playmate remakes. You know what I mean? At least it wasn't all the exact same property. But still, you see Turtles everywhere.
I think
for a completist, it's way too much. Way too much.
It's not just that too. What you have to kind of also is like the thing with Transformers is throughout the years they keep releasing new media that brings in new generation, and same thing. Turtles have done the same thing. They've been consistently bringing out different media throughout the years, and you have younger crowds that enjoy like the last Ninja Turtle movie, that cartoon. There are kids that that enjoy that, and there's a whole market catered just to that. And so I think it's always going to be something like there's always going to be something new and refreshing because as those kids get older, they'll also get into the same lines that the older generation were into.
So
they start crossing over into that.
So like when it comes to the topic like this, I don't consider the new cartoon movie, the Mutant Mayhem, whatever it was called. I don't consider those figures in this conversation because
I agree.
That's the brand new stuff for the young generation. I'm talking about the collector.
Well, that's because we're better than Johnny, is what you're saying.
Collectors, not the general toy line, Because you're always going to have, like you said, new media. They're going to pop out new toys for the kids and little things. But the actual collector quality stuff that they try and sell, that's where it's just like it's all the same general era, just different versions now. It's a lot.
I don't know so much about that, man. Because like I said, I've seen the customers that come in, and I've seen kids come in and buy those same NECA figures as well as adults. So
that's just because their parents are raising them right. That's a completely different situation.
I think it's few and far between too. Like, I'm gonna go out on a limb with an unpopular opinion and say that even though I'm a completist, had I known about the Loyal Subjects and Super 7 before I started with NECA, I probably would have never touched NECA. Only because Super 7 has captured my heart with the remakes, if you want to call it a retooling of the originals, doing what we all wanted with our figures.
Right.
And then the Loyal Subjects has done such a great job of giving us arcade turtles, Toon Turtles, the Tokas, the Razars. No, Chris, I'm right. You're not wrong.
No,
Well, you are
I know
wrong.
I'm not wrong. I'm aware.
Sorry.
So,
IDW line has been good. I've enjoyed those figures. I don't open them, but I've enjoyed them.
the only problem I have with the Loyal Subject ones is the actual turtles. I don't like how the turtles look for the cartoon ones they did.
Okay.
I don't like the design of the turtles.
I'm scanning my wall. I'm sorry.
The other characters all look really good, but the turtles themselves were a miss. But the IDW versions, I like those, so I made sure to get those. So from Loyal Subjects, I only get the IDW based characters because their cartoon ones for the turtles I was not a fan of. They just
I also enjoy the reaction ones.
no reactions are nice. But that's another line I can't get into. That's small. I've got like Ray Fillet for that, and that's it.
I mean,
So-
and to each their own. For me, that's definitely something I don't enjoy that line. I'm not into them.
Tony
The
also
only
gets-
I only have one reaction figure, and it's like and the only reason I actually have this Optimus Prime is because one, it's Optimus Prime, it's a holiday Optimus Prime, and two, the package actually came in broken when it came in from the distribution chain, and I was like, well, crap, well, this is all ruined, I can't sell it, so I might as well open it up and do a little promo video and say, hey, look what I got in stock.
See, no, makes sense.
I enjoy the reaction line. I do think they're getting out of control with some of the special edition.
Right.
So I've purchased Mirage Turtles. I've purchased the glow in the darks of the original like regular Turtles. I purchased cartoon versions of some of the turtles. Like it's almost like Playmates where they're like, hey, we're just gonna keep putting stuff out there. You'll keep buying it, and it's
Because they're not wrong.
right,
Exactly.
right. And I do the Simpsons also. That's a whole other thing we won't get into, but I do. The
No, but
Simpsons.
that's part of the same thing. Yeah, it's
Well, Super 7 has their hands in so many things, giggity, and they're doing a great job. So they're Super 7 Ultimates. They're great figures, but they don't get the popularity. And maybe you guys can let me why. I don't understand why.
So
Well-
for what the turtles or for
For
Simpsons?
anything, whether it be
it's because
Thundercats.
for a while the quality though they were having a lot of QC issues, and so
Okay, so that's stuff I don't know. So go ahead, please elaborate.
yeah, and so for the cost that you're paying on these Super 7 figures, well they were retailing at like $54.99,
Yeah.
and for that price to have QC issues, it's a big problem. So once you started having one wave do that, you're like, okay, well that was just that wave. Who knows? It could have been an issue at the manufacturer, because those sort of things do happen. But then when it became consistent, wave after wave, and not only QC like small QC issues, but you also started to get bigger ones where like your figure would break on initial, unboxing and kind of posing and all this stuff, and then like you have your paint app issues with them, and when you're paying that. Yeah, when you're paying that kind of money for a figure, you should not be having those issues. That should not be And so because of that you started having problems with people having confidence in buying it.
I mean, that's a mass produced issue, right?
NECA.
Anything you get this mass produced, it's going to happen. I understand your point, but then I also wonder if a lot of those issues, like I'm not familiar with the whole Super 7 side of it and what their issues were. I didn't open any of mine. But that reminds me of like when you see people post a new, like when NECA posts a new figure, and everybody's like, "Oh, NECA sucks." As soon as I open my NECA figures, they always break, and it's like, okay, what are you doing? Because I have hundreds of Predators, hundreds of Aliens, hundreds of Turtles, all out of box, and not a single one is broken.
Well,
Because
weird, right? Like an extra left arm or some crap.
yeah, they're like, oh, as soon as I took out I pulled out of the package and it broke. Like, but I think a lot of that is just people online being loud when it's not the majority, but the
Sure.
upset minority is just very loud about it, and then it becomes the meme or the stereotype to hate on them because of this, when it's not really that big of an issue.
Well, funny story.
7, but I haven't messed with them on that.
Funny story though. I was doing an unboxing and review video, advertising Super 7 figures, and as I was reviewing the figure, and I just do basic articulation, arms go up, swivel, head, as I was doing that, Again, QC issues were right there, plain as day, with not just the paint, but then the actual figure limb breaking off as I'm doing the video.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I'm sitting there talking about, oh man, this figure's really great, feels nice and hefty, good in hand, and then bloop. And I'm
You're
like,
"Don't
well
buy
now.
it."
And it's hard because at that stage, I'm sitting there saying what a great figure this is, and then that happens. So I'm like,
I mean, you only be honest at that point. Be like, hey, it was great until it broke. Like,
yeah. So no. So at that point, I'm like, well, I'm not gonna sit here and advertise this now, and I don't want to sit there and say, oh, this figure did terrible and all this stuff. By the way, I have it on sale. Come buy it. So I was kind of like, okay, what do I do now? Because I spent all this time filming, doing all this video, making all this content for it, and then it's like, oh well, that happened.
but what actually broke on it? The joint?
Yeah. So at the knee.
Yeah. See, like I've just
I haven't ever opened the Super 7. I have a whole extra set of turtles. I mean, it's not surprising,
then
right? I have
And
an
then
extra set of turtles.
as I was doing the articulation on the arm, doing the elbow bend, I started to feel like the tolerances were going to do the same thing as the knee. So I was like, all right, I'm going to stop right there.
now is. I know you got companies like the Four Horsemen with all their Legion figures.
Yeah.
They put on there, like on the package, to take the figure out of package, to kind of warm it up, let it sit for a couple days or something. Like they have like directions what to do before you start messing with articulation to make sure it doesn't break. Right? I'm wondering if Super 7 needs to start implementing something like that as well. Because some of these guys, when you get a brand new figure, apparently, I've never had the issue because in Florida, I don't think we have that problem generally. But
I, I've,
older clients, some of these people, like they take them out, and because they haven't like let them warm up, it snaps.
I haven't had that issue with any of my Four Horsemen.
Well, I'm saying, but if you look in the back of the Four Horsemen, they have like actual directions.
Yeah,
I
but
feel
I
like
mean,
NECA should do
I'll
the
be
same
honest
thing,
with you. I don't do that. I take them right out of the box and
No,
I
I
start.
don't either. That's a percolating.
But I've never had an issue with any of those figures that
I've never had this problem, period.
Yeah, if you don't take them out of package.
Well,
I mean,
I'll tell you, like, so even all joking aside, so Damien, my little shellhead, he has his own like set of turtles that have been open, right? So he's got a set of Toon Turtles, he's got Bebop and Rocksteady, and Shredder and Krang, a couple of small things that he's open. And NECA, people scream quality control with NECA. I'm sure it's out there, but
I've
everything
never
he
had
opened,
an issue with any of my NECAs.
Yeah,
Like,
everything he
and I
opened,
do
no
toy
problems.
photography. I do like I said, I do unboxing reviews like for like the channel and everything.
Yeah.
I have never once had an issue with any of the NECA figures. Like I said, the only time I ever had that happen, it was, and like I said, it was kind of like an embarrassing thing, was with that that one particular Super 7 figure, and I don't, not to name names out of it, but I was like, okay, well that kind of.
well, because it's like with NECA, like you see in the fan pages on Facebook, people complain about the quality control all the time, and it's so much there that you can't ignore it and be like, oh, those people are lying, because there's obviously something there, but it's just I don't think it's as abundant as the internet likes to make it seem. You,
Oh,
maybe you're
sorry,
orgasm?
shellhead sneeze.
What the hell is that?
It was a shellhead sneeze, guys. For those who can't see, I was about to sneeze.
But
Keep
But
going.
then-
I'm intermission, which means alcohol. You guys keep going.
yeah, but like when it comes down to like the oversaturation, not even with turtles, because when you look at the toy aisles, all you see are the same lines for the past 30 years.
Yeah,
How long
the same wrestling figures, the same
Right,
Power
how
Rangers.
long has Hasbro had Star Wars on the shelf? Like, holy crap! They've taken up so much space. It goes through ways of not selling to selling. Right? There's just so much of it, and I think that that's space that could be used for other lines. Give other smaller companies that chance, and that's where conversation last week.
Or I mean,
Places like Toys R Us was a real benefit. You know what I mean? Because they allowed companies to come in with their one-off lines to try new product. You can't do that right now because they all want the same crap that we've been buying for 30 years.
it's so weird. Yeah, they're trying to what they're trying to do, I guess, is just feed off the nostalgia bug.
Oh, for
Like,
sure.
and they're like, oh yeah, we know this was a proven IP. This will sell, and to give like a new company or a new idea, a new anything, a chance, they're like, why? We know this works, and we know people still buy it. People still pay for it. It'll be, packed to the, to the gills with, the same IPs over and over. And they're like, well, why are we going to take the chance on something new and something different? And for me, it's kind of sad.
Cool and different.
Exactly. It's kind of sad because I'm like, especially like American, the American culture and spirit always was, to go against the grain, to try to venture out and try. And that's how these things happen in the first place.
Right.
It was someone threw an idea out there and was like, you know what, I'm just going to make it happen, and then, move forward.
Well, yeah, because you figure that's how He-Man started, right? It was just a toy line. Somebody pitched a toy line, and they were like, "Let's do it. Oh, let's make a cartoon for it."
Very rando at the time because the Barbarian shit wasn't selling, and somebody goes, "Well, it's not good enough. Let's do this, this, and this." And then He-Man became like huge.
It was a random toy line. Like that's where we're missing right now, and that's where I think the oversaturation is really showing, and people are interested. Because if you look at how many independent toy lines there are on Kickstarters and shit, those things people want. That's
that brutal. Have you guys seen that one?
That thing looks amazing. I can't do it, but
what is it?
Looks great.
Oh my gosh,
brutal! It's a bunch of like
share it. I've never seen it.
Warriors and stuff.
No, I've never seen it.
They have a very like a lot of the characters have like He-Man-esque appearances.
He-Man, Conan-esque appearances, yeah.
But they're original characters.
So think about that again, right? So that's appealing to you guys as a collector because of your age and what you come from. So thinking of newer kids and today's lines, they're oversaturated with really a lot of garbage. I see. So when I go to Target, right? I go to buy toys.
A lot of the shit we had as kids wasn't great either. Let's be honest.
So, but if you notice when you go to stores, I'm just gonna throw this out there. You go to stores, it's the same shit in a different genre, not different genre, different age. So you go and your kid's like, "Oh man, look at the Batman toys. It's Batman, same stuff we had, but it's a little, just a little different, not as good quality." Oh, it's like, "Daddy, look at the turtles, they're so cool." And you're looking at it and you're like, the quality is garbage. So it's the same toys rehashed, regurgitated over and over and over. When I go to Walmart, I go to Target, I see Dragon Ball Z toys, I see Turtles toys, I see Transformer toys. Look, man, Transformers is so out of touch with everything. They're running out of things to make. They're making Target exclusive trucks that turn into the dog.
I actually have that.
All right, you know what, Johnny? You're the problem. That's the issue.
No, here's the thing. That's actually and to argue against that point, that's actually kind of unique. And kind of ideas like that have been thrown around. Like there's been like, what is it, memes and gifs of like Optimus Prime that transforms into a truck that has the Amazon Prime logo and the colors.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, to bring something like that, it's different. It's unique versus another blue and red Optimus Prime.
Something like that, I could see. I mean, I could see any store being like, "Oh, let's just get a license with Hasbro to make an Optimus Prime that has right." You get a Publix Optimus Prime, like
a J5 Toys Optimus Prime. Free shipping.
Free shipping.
Cool for that little store, but there's just so much crap. And with Transformers, you have what, like 5 different lines of the same characters, just in different sizes?
Well, you have Legends, you have Leader Class, you have like all these different.
And then you have like even smaller kids that like don't really transform; they just kind of bend and like maybe easy transform. Like they have like a bunch of different shit for Transformers. Because I think the only line right now that doesn't have like multiple sublines that I can think of, where it's like cheaper, this and that, bigger and whatever, is like G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe's got like their one across the board, unless they're also doing 3 3/4.
G.I. Joe is doing. You got the retros. Take that out of the mix. We're not talking about that. They have, for modern, they have the Classified series.
Right.
They have Retro Joes.
But they're all in the same scale. They're all 6-inch, though. Collector line?
Well, they have 3 3/4 also.
Okay, so
I forget what they're called.
Kids toy line?
I'm sorry?
Like, do they have like a kids toy line? How like Playmates has their turtles?
No, like a I hate to say it, but like a dumbed down version.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they don't. GI Joe is just like
Just
GI
classified.
Joe is GI Joe. Either you want the classified series, or you want the retro collection, which is the same 6-inch figure, or you want the 3 3/4 remakes. That's what GI Joe is doing.
So yeah, so they don't have much.
No, but it's still GI Joe, and it's very sought after.
Oh yeah, no, they look great.
Yeah.
Well,
Johnny look indisposed.
no, I'm just multitasking. But you know what's funny though, about that GI Joe classified? When the first run that they released, it's so weird because they did it after like not the original GI Joe, like GI Joe figures. Like they did them after some video game version, and those things did not sell well at all. I
Right, when they
remember
first
I
did it,
lost. Oh yeah,
Didn't
I
they make
lost
a
so much
movie?
money on those, on the video game ones that they first came out with. And then once they actually got it right though, oh my gosh, it just took off. And like you couldn't even keep it on the shelves.
So I can't touch. There's ones I'm missing actually. The Tiger Force, Python Patrol, the only ones I do. I don't do any of the obscures or any of the extras. But Python Patrol and Tiger Force, whenever I buy those, they sell out almost immediately on Hasbro Pulse. Like I'm missing right now the Tiger Force Ferret. So it's the little ATV. I missed out on that. I missed out on, right? Maybe? I don't know. My house is weird. And then I'm missing the regular Ferret, which was like re-released with the original colors. I did back the HasLab. I have a Sky Striker. I backed the HasLab Rattler. And I'd love to see them do some HasLab like Tiger Force and shit like that. And so I think Hasbro is doing it right with the HasLab items. Although I do get annoyed by the fact that like they keep wanting to do like Ghostbusters and Star Wars. I think they keep regurgitating the same lines.
well, because they don't have a lot of lines to do HasLabs with. They have Marvel, Star Wars, Joe's, and Ghostbusters. Transformers, that's it. 6 lines?
So that's all Hasbro has. So they're limited, right? I guess that
Yeah, I
is
mean,
that
they
the
can't
understanding?
be, oh, let's do a HasLab for He-Man, right? They can't do that. So
Right.
they're going to use their lines. And the Ghostbusters ones have been beyond like crazy successful, as G.I. Joe has been also.
So what would you like to see if there was a new HasLab? I'm not a Star Wars guy, so I can't speak to that. But if there was a new HasLab coming out, what would you want to see? In fact, for the people who are not watching right now, guys, in the comments, tell us what HasLab you'd like to see. I'm curious. I'm sure they're, the counterparts are curious. We've seen so many different HasLabs. What are you guys looking to see? I want to get like a broad understanding of what you guys would like to see as a HasLab. It could be something silly like, hey, I want to see a Rodimus HasLab. I want to see a Death Star HasLab. I want to see a Flag HasLab, which I would buy myself. Not even that big of a Joe fan. But anyway, what you guys put the Weizie Johnny, what would
You're
you
not
guys
gonna
want to
think
see?
of what?
Did you say a Rodimus HasLab?
Oh
Hold on.
yeah.
No,
What do you mean? What do you mean? Hold on.
Let's circle back. Hold on.
It's Rodimus, dude.
No, Shellhead
Like
to me-
Rodimus Prime? There's already Rodimus Prime figure out there.
Not as HasLab. Not something
Why
awesome.
would that be a HasLab though?
I'm sure they'd include something cool.
That's not how it works. So, but
Maybe we get the fish.
so
When fishing, maybe we get the fish.
Tony, hold on. Said that I'm not that big of a GI Joe fan. I would buy the Flag. So why did you buy the drone?
Because it was big and awesome, and he would have printed a 16-foot flag if I had somewhere to put it.
So you get when you're thinking about HasLabs, right? If you want to try and like fantasy do or what a fantasy team, whatever, a HasLab, you got to kind of look at what their kind of qualifications are. So it's going to be something that's going to be over what $350, almost $400 usually, maybe $500.
Usually, yeah.
So it's going to be something big. It's not going to be like a figure or some smaller figure that they normally sell for $20, $30, right? And the only thing that I can think of for like of the lines that I collect would be Ghostbusters from Hasbro, would be the Ecto One, and that's coming later this year. So that's coming, right?
You know
Because
what?
the Ecto One in scale for 6-inch figures is going to be massive. The thing's going to be amazing.
A massive Stay Puff.
See,
What about a Firehouse?
But you got to remember, if you're doing HasLab, they're doing in scale. Can you imagine how big an in scale firehouse would be for 6-inch figures? That thing would be, it'd be like probably my entire display here. Like, it'd be huge.
You've been to my house, man. Just saying.
But I think, at least for Ghostbusters, I think the last thing they could really get would be the Ecto one. I can't see them doing anything else for Ghostbusters that's not prop related that they can get a HasLab out of, unless they start going to real Ghostbusters and doing like vehicles from real Ghostbusters. Unless they want to do, but even then, I don't think it would be a HasLab worthy. It would be like an in scale containment unit. Would be dope.
I was just gonna say maybe even like the containment unit with lights and sounds or whatever. That'd be cool.
Yeah, but I don't think that would be worthy of a $350 HasLab though.
You'd have to have a lot of amazing stuff to go along with that, yeah, to make it.
Right. I mean, and they could do it if they really wanted to. Because they haven't done this yet, but usually with the HasLab, they might add a figure or two, right? So if they did, which I kind of hope they do with the Ecto one, but if they don't do with the Ecto one, they did like a containment unit.
I don't think Hasbro would do that, just because of they've had some failures when it comes to cars.
What do you mean?
So they're going to look at other lines that they try to do, like, HasLabs for with cars that failed, and they're pretty much going to spread that across the board. Like the Engines of Vengeance, like that pretty much kind of, I think, is going to ruin the whole thing of vehicles for HasLab moving forward. Like anytime they're going to try to pitch that, they're going to just bring that up and say, well, no, that didn't do well, so I don't think we're going to do it Ecto 1.
They just did the rat, right, for G.I. Joe.
Well, you had the ferret and you had the
No, but then they just finished at Comic-Con. They started one for the rat, right, or whatever the hell it's called. It was a G.I. Joe vehicle, isn't it?
Rattler.
Okay, that thing. I don't do Joe, so I don't know.
It's Rattler.
Yeah, so I mean they're doing vehicles. Doing the Vengeance one was a weird choice. That was just a weird.
Well, and I think that's kind of different, though. I mean that's it's not like a car, It's, and two, like G.I. Joe hasn't, they haven't failed once,
Neither is Ghostbusters.
So I don't know.
That's right.
Yeah, but
so
I know.
I get.
I know. I just feel like it's a tough sell.
The car for fans of Ghostbusters, we've been wanting a in scale Ecto one for our 6-inch figures, even 5-inch when Mattel.
Well, first of all, what's this weed shit?
Or you're not a Ghostbuster fan.
I haven't wanted one ever.
You're not a Ghostbuster fan.
Well played. All right. Never mind. Shellheads, we're backing out. Good.
So we've been wanting an in-scale Ecto 1 for 6-inch, 5-inch figures since before Mattel lied to us and took that away. Because Mattel had one coming. And they're like, oh, pre-order, the support, yada, 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 on Matty Collector. And then within like 3 days, they're like, oh, you guys met the goal. We're going to do it. And then 2 days later, oh, you guys didn't meet the goal. We're not doing it. Like, they changed their story up within 2 days and canceled the whole thing, right? It's fucking stupid. So, Hasbro doing it, it'll sell out. The HasLab will sell out. But what they need to do, though, what's really going to sell it is the extras they add on, the tiers, right? So if they make it so it's the Ecto 1, you have the tiers that maybe build, or you could add stuff to make it the Ecto 2 or Ecto 1A from the second movie, extra features on top. But if they really wanted to do, say they did do a containment unit, they'd have to do a containment unit and each tier be figures. So you can get all the missing figures that they haven't released in Plasma series out that way. If they did that, it'll sell all day. Give us all the 4 or 5 missing Ghostbuster figures from the Afterlife and from, was it the Frost one? It'll sell.
Oh, Frozen Empire?
Yeah, there you go. They'll sell all day. Because we're missing characters that we'll never get because they're not doing Plasma series right now for whatever reason.
I don't know, man. And maybe it's me because I'm not a Ghostbuster person. I enjoy the movie, right? I really do. I enjoy the first movie, second movie. I grew up with that, so it's entertaining. But it's not something where I'm like, man, I have to have this. So I don't understand when you're like,
ask yourself.
I'm just saying. So like, I think it's what I like about the three of us more than anything is because we all have different loves, and so when you go to our particular thing like Ghostbusters, I'm not as a diehard fan as Weizie is. So when he says, "Hey, this is cool and this is awesome and this is why," I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." In my head, I'm like, "I don't give a shit," but he likes it for particular reasons and he can articulate why. So in my head, I'm like, okay, why do we need XYZ? I can understand a containment unit. I think that'd be really freaking cool. And if you made it like, it's HasLab, right? So if it was 30 inches tall, but it had all these crazy features,
30-inch, God,
that'd be a very cool piece.
That thing is massive.
Well,
think back to the
I thought you
movie.
wanted
Like,
to
it's a
scale.
little taller than the guys when they're standing next to it in the movie. It's only got to be like 8 inches. The guys are only 6 in figure form.
All right, shellheads. I don't know what I'm talking about, apparently. Weizie, you keep going. I thought I had something, but I'll be right back.
Man,
But Tony is right, though, when he's saying like the differences, because the way he's talking about how he feels when we talk about Ghostbusters, he's like, I don't know. That's exactly how I feel when y'all start talking about Transformers, because I don't know Transformers. I don't give a shit about Transformers.
yeah. Well, the weird part is it's like I love Ghostbusters, Transformers, Turtles, the whole spectrum. So for me, it's kind of hard to I get where you're coming from, but at the same time, and again, experience as as a seller as well, like from my stores and everything else, I just feel like it would be a hard sell.
It'll be
I don't know. I don't see it.
It'll be a hard sell at retail all day, right? Because in a store, you have to then hope that the local collectors come out and purchase it, right? That'll be a hard sell all day.
I mean,
but doing it as a
even Plasma series, was a hard sell. Like for
because you have
me
to,
when I
you
had it in
as
the
a
store.
store have to hope that the people walking in the store are Ghostbuster fans. If they're not going to buy them for the most part. Some people like to buy action figures, like, oh, I like that movie, I'll buy them. But for the most part, you're selling to Ghostbuster fans. So if you don't have Ghostbuster fans in your area, you're not going to sell those things, right? But that's why doing it online through HasLab, where you have the Ghostbuster fans all coming in from all over the country, or I don't know if they ship international, I imagine they do, and all over the world, going on and ordering what they want, it's going to sell because you're going to be hit all the people who aren't in your area or the store's area. Like at retail, Ghostbusters isn't a crazy successful line. It just is what it is. Online, though, it can be very successful. That's why Matty Collector did so well when they did have it. They did like 10 waves or something. They did a crazy amount of waves. Welcome back.
I don't know, bro. I'm just gonna agree. Yeah, agree to disagree on that. But yeah, because
So Matty
like I
Collector
said,
did
for me,
Voltron. It was awesome.
Yeah, Matty Collector.
That
was a great piece, though.
Fucking toy guru.
Man, Voltron.
It's good. I like it. I don't know. So I started buying and I wish I could remember it. God damn it, I just bought it the other day. So the company that is retooling the mask toys.
Ramen toy.
Yes, thank you. So I bought the latest one. It's a white Porsche. I forget the name of it. But I went back and looked at the other ones. They're all sold out, so I can't even like catch up. Like the Matt Tracker,
Gull Wing.
Yeah, I can't. What the hell is a car, man?
Yeah, and the secondary market on that. My God, it's stupid. So, right now. I'm like,
well, I'm gonna tell you, man. I really have stopped and started thinking about nostalgia as a kid, and I'm like, I loved Mask, and it was a great show. It was a great toy, and so many people on the later years are talking about why isn't somebody redoing all of these toys?
Give me a minute. I'll be back. You guys keep going.
Yeah. So why isn't somebody redoing all these toys? And there is one company, Ramen, but they're only doing specific toys. They're not doing the whole line. And so, like, the two guys we buy from, Chris, the two guys we buy the NECA from.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they had the Ramen toys. Camaro. I don't know what they called it, man. It's
Oh,
not called what it is. So
it's supposed to be the Ghost Rider.
it's Mask.
Oh, it's
No,
from
it's
that.
Mask. It's a red car. So I gotta look. I can't remember what the hell it's called. And so let's see. Mask Matt Tracker car. Thunderhawk.
Okay.
So they had a Thunderhawk. It's red. It's an old IROC Camaro. It has gull-wing doors, and that was his transformation. All the cars in Mask they transformed, and so this company is retooling some of those toys, but not all of them. But if they did them all, buyers would buy it, and me as a collector, I'm like, I'm almost ready to like scrap some of my other lines and go vintage Mask
Oh,
because I appreciate that line as a kid.
you know, I've known you a few years,
Uh-oh.
and we've been doing shows together about just over a year now. And I've heard you say,
There we go.
I'm thinking about doing scrapping this and going all this on a few different things. So I think this is just what you're currently into at the moment.
Yeah, no, like totally, like Rebel Girl, she's awesome, but I'd love to go back to vintage. No, just kidding.
But like, I think there's room when you these toy lines, like I said, with the oversaturation, and if they want to hit the nostalgia, I think there's room for them to start looking at the other lines from our childhood that did sell well, that have aftermarket prices that are insane, and start going back and revisiting those. Could you imagine if they started
Mask is one for sure.
But imagine if they started doing Dino Riders.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I
So
would buy them all, instant.
there's one
like the
before
Street
Dino
Sharks
Riders.
right now. Oh my god.
Oh,
I'm glad they started doing Street Sharks.
do you guys remember
Street
Zoids?
Shark, Biker Mice from Mars, all of a sudden, like, you start getting some of the lower scale toy lines from our childhood, but they all had, a significant run because they're also, basically rip-offs of
Well,
Turtles, right?
Toxic Avenger.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, I love Toxic Avenger.
There's
Yeah.
toys from the Toxic Avenger that are worth hundreds of dollars if you can get them the original way, but they're all rip-off of the Turtles vehicles
Oh, yeah.
if you can find them.
Right.
But
But yeah, Playmates did that a lot though, where they use like vehicles from one, and like retooled a little bit, changed some colors, and
which honestly I love. I love retool toys. And you're like, hey, that was blah blah blah, and it's super cool.
Because I remember one day when I was working at Toys R Us, I was walking down the like play school aisle. They had
Death Row,
Imagine
yeah.
X. They had Imagine X stuff, and I looked at one of the Imagine X toys. It was some type of like weird alien thing, and as soon as I saw it, I recognized it as one of the real Ghostbuster ghosts from our childhood that they just repurposed into Imagine X as an alien. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. And I didn't have a chance to get it before it disappeared. And I wish I had, because it was just a full retool of the alien. Like, I was like, that's amazing. That it's been 20 plus years and they're still reusing this mold for different lines in the future. It was crazy.
So, we're all sitting here. You just said that. You just brought me back. So, let's talk about Toys R Us, KB Toys. Oh, I see a lot of sighing. They're gone, man. They're gone. And why is it that we think, as collectors and consumers, why do we think these brick and mortar places have gone away and fire away?
Okay, I have a theory.
All right, Johnny, your turn. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Damn.
No, I have a theory. I have no proof of it. It's just in my head, so it's canon to me, right? With Toys R Us essentially killing its competition of like Lionel Play World and then KB Toys, there was no real brick and mortar toy store besides Toys R Us. They essentially had a monopoly. There was no competition.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, Walmart and Target didn't really sell a lot of toys.
The prices were way higher, but yes.
Yeah, but in the very, like, when they first got rid of KB and all that, Target didn't have a lot for toys. They had stuff, but it wasn't a lot. Then you had Kmart that didn't have much for toys. Walmart, it was all afterthoughts for those companies. But I think Toys R Us started getting too big for their own britches. And then Walmart and Target were like, hey, we want to be your competition. and Toys R Us just couldn't compete. It just is what it is, and it just killed them because mom and dad would be like, if I go to Walmart, do my shopping, and get the same toys, I don't have to go to Toys R Us. I can get all the same shit at Walmart now.
You're not far off from what actually happened to them. What killed them was when Walmart started doing online sales. Walmart, Target, and all of them started doing online sale. Amazon started doing the online sales. What happened was Toys R Us was not following suit with online sales because the online allowed Walmart and all the other competitions to really start selling at lower, and they were able to buy out the rights to exclusives for a lot of things that Toys R Us used to have, kind of first dibs on. It started going towards Walmart and Target and Kmart because they were able to buy in bigger bulk than what Toys R Us were able to buy. So they were able to get that pricing.
But
That allowed them to start getting more competitive. And then as that started to build up, Toys R Us did have some financial issues. They made some bad business decisions that kind of led to its downfall.
As an employee of Toys R Us, you're not wrong, right? But I think part of the problem with Toys R Us, like with that whole Walmart side where they started getting things for cheaper, that's where Toys R Us should have been like, hey, that's fine. Get Star Wars for cheaper. Get Marvel Legends for cheaper. No problem. We're going to stick to all the other toy lines that you guys won't carry. Have something here still that you can't get anywhere else to bring people in. But they didn't do that. They were still focused on the main IPs, and they couldn't keep up with that. They just couldn't. And then also, they had a bunch of restructuring and the management and the people that took over after a while really sucked. That's a whole different side of Toys R Us that working there, it ruins your childhood memories of. So, but that's a different topic.
Yeah, so that's
like KB back. Bring KB back all day. KB was awesome.
Oh man, so
what's nuts, though? There are retail Toys R Us that are coming back, and they are not. They are not.
I'm gonna tell you this right now.
It makes you weep a little inside.
I didn't bring this up on any of our previous podcasts just because it just never came up.
Here it comes.
But now because fucking Pixel Dan mentioned it, and I was like, oh, so I was right. Now it seems like I'm just biting off of him. But no, what happened was that about 2 months ago, I went on vacation, and we went up to Missouri. We stopped in Texas as a layover in the Fort Worth airport. And inside the airport is a Toys R Us. There's a Toys R Us inside the airport.
I'll fly out there just to do that.
Black Series figure, $40.
Oh.
So when I
walked, free.
It was funny because we were late for a connection.
Wait, was it like a deluxe or?
No, it was just a basic.
No, it came with food stamps, dude. But that's a lot.
It was a figure that came out because Pixel Dan did the video on it. It was a figure that came out like a year before.
Nobody, all right.
I didn't hear what you said, so
it's probably better. Good.
But yeah, so because when I saw it, my wife and I were walking. We were late for a connection. So I was going, and my wife was like, "Do you want to go in real quick?" I'm like, "No, we're gonna be late for a flight." I'm like, "It's probably expensive anyways. It's inside an airport. Like, there's no way it's gonna be cheap." And then when Pixel Dan did the video and he showed it was $40 for Black Series, I'm like, "Yeah."
What figure was it?
I can't remember, but I don't remember which one Pixel Dan showed. But I feel like it was one of the Mandos that he showed that came out last year.
Mandalorian?
Well, one of those type of Mando style.
Yeah.
I don't know all their names.
No. But I'm just
tell you all day that Star Wars and Transformers are overrated. I can't stand either of them.
Well,
so,
Mando
I'm trying to picture like a Mando figure for. Wow, I'm gonna have to look up.
Well, no,
because here's the thing, like what I saw a Mando figure for right now is almost ridiculous. By the way, November 2nd, November 3rd, we're gonna be out there, so I'll be seeing you guys there.
Where we going?
Yeah, Tampa Fairgrounds. Tampa Fairgrounds.
J5 Toys. Free shipping.
Free shipping.
Show. He'll definitely ship it to you for free at the show.
Wait, you guys are going to be there, right?
Oh yeah.
Huh? There we go. All right.
I'm going to be there, and I'll be at Lakeland.
Nice. Yeah, but dude, I mean, the prices. I'm gonna have that stuff posted later on. But some of the prices, man, they're going going prices. Get them.
But yeah, so the Toys R Us's that are
Tony
popping
might smack himself when he sees some of them.
but
I'm
some
gonna
of
go home with a
the Toys R
Unicron.
Us's that are popping up are going to be crazy priced. They're not what Toys R Us used to be. They just aren't. But I wish they'd bring back KB. That'd be great, and make it what KB used to be.
Yeah,
That'd be
because
So
here's the thing. Like, what they should do if they're going to do something like that, like an airport mall, like a standalone brick and mortar mall location or airport location, bring something different to the table. Like sell some Hot Toys there. That'd be wild to see like actual Hot Toys at retail.
never
Bring
happened at
like
the
If
airport.
they're selling
right,
Black Series for $40, how much
No,
is
never happened at the airport.
yeah.
toys for?
But bring something different like that. Bring like have the Mezco figures there. Have those have some more higher end retail for that. If you're going for that if you're going for that higher dollar, then
Well,
have some higher quality figures there
my
that really do demand that kind of pricing.
my assumption would be the price was that high because of how much the rent has to be an airport, right? They're far.
Not and it's not just that too, but it's also they're probably like, well, since we're at this location, and they're just trying to go for the squeeze that extra dollar as much as they can.
Well, yeah, but no, because like people buy stuff from there, and it's going to be some parents who have a kid who's pissed off or crying, like, "Oh, let's go to Toys R Us and buy him a toy," not caring how much it is, just to get the kid to shut up, right? That's where their
Yeah.
sales are going to come. Because no collector is going to be like, "Oh, I'm going to go to Toys R Us in the airport and spend 3 times the amount for a toy that I can get online on clearance because it's old as hell."
Or probably less than $10 out of Ollie's.
Exactly. It's like, oh, all the stuff you found in Ross over, Christmas, it's all in Toys R Us in the airport for
$40.
exorbitant prices.
Ah,
I
God.
mean, still bring back KB.
Yeah. I'd love to go back to a KB, man. They were great stores.
I mean, any store that will just show love to the smaller toy companies is start bringing those in. So your mom and pop shop, right? I don't see many of those that have like a lot of the indie stuff. Some do, but then the prices on indie stuff, especially if it's like they support the Kickstarter, it's just really expensive. It just is what it is at that point.
Yeah.
I don't know if they could work out something with like a bigger toy store or whatever to make the prices a little more manageable to get them in store at retail. But
And it's hard though because when you look at some of those independent companies to really get that wholesale pricing, you have to have that huge upfront capital to buy
of
from them.
course,
But you have your mom and pop stores that are like, yo, I'd buy all these pallets of this and have nowhere to put it in my store. Like like it would eat up my whole store floor.
yeah.
It's one of those things where there's got to be some balance to it.
And especially if you get some of those companies that are like, yeah, you have to have an account with us, and we're going to send you this product. You don't really get to select what you want. We're just going to send you whatever we want of this line when it comes out, and then you get a bunch of stuff that doesn't sell. And then what do you do then? Like,
What's sad?
You become J5 Toys.
No, sir. They used to, and those companies used to do buybacks. That's such a weird thing. Like they used to do like a retailer buyback where you buy X quantity from them,
right?
and then if it didn't sell, they would buy back that that those amounts, those figures that didn't sell. Like that's not a thing anymore with a lot of these retailers that sell to you, especially your mom and pop ones. So it kind of sucks. Like you're taking a risk with some of these companies when you're buying from them. And of course that also feeds into the whole reason why you're stuck with all these same IPs over and over. Now, and to a degree, I'm not really complaining about that. I mean, I love seeing these out there, and I love there's new collectors coming out and enjoying these as well.
It doesn't have to be so goddamn
But
much.
well, it's not just that. It's like I would love to see some healthy competition with new things, new IPs out there, because what that does, it forces those other companies to step up their game. They're like,
That's
oh
true.
man, this new thing came out, now we got to come out with our own thing that's going to either exceed that or fix what we currently have and make it better to compete with that.
And could you imagine walking into Walmart?
It brings competition.
Like you go into Walmart, and you see Transformers, these Batman, all the McFarlane stuff, and then you got wrestling, and then you got Four Horsemen on the pegs. You know what I mean? Like that would be cool as shit to where you can start doing that and start seeing all these indie guys pop up in retail stores like that. It would be great for them. Like you said, it'll cause NECA and all the people who are there now to get a little uncomfortable. Like, oh shit, look at this competition we have now, and start making them, hopefully, change what they're doing.
Yeah, because when you look at
step up their game.
Yeah, because when you look at the quality of like Valaverse figures, the Action Force figures, those things are incredible. When you look at the quality of like Four Horsemen, I mean, they're just amazing. And so at a retail setting like that, like, oh my gosh, like you're right. Other companies would be like, oh no.
Yeah.
They would just literally say, oh no, they would shit themselves.
I mean, I think I could be completely wrong. I think that they're really missing an opportunity because, like, when you look at the Kickstarters, they're going crazy. People support them all day. You're right on all these little indie projects. Like they make $300,000 in support to do toy lines because people are obviously want it. That's why they're supporting it. People are talking with their wallets. But then you got other companies that try and do the same thing, and it's like, why are you guys even doing that? That's a whole
well, you're not wrong, man.
Like, why are we doing crowdfund stuff from McFarlane and Hasbro? That's just ridiculous. But that's a whole different topic.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh,
you guys aren't wrong.
Medieval Spawn. That just drives me crazy.
But I mean, it may not be like 100% our person, like our follower or the normal collector. They can't like afford to do all these shit that's coming out, man. Like all these upstarts, all these like what the hell you just said, Weizie.
Kickstarter.
Yeah, sorry, Kickstarters, stuff like that. They can't afford to get in on those, so there's too much though. There is too much out there. So anyway, guys, we're done. It's 10 o'clock on Tuesday for us. So
yeah, we're wrapping up early. We're not even at an hour yet. Damn.
Yeah, we're at an hour. So anyway.
Wait. So before we go though, do you got anything to show off?
Me?
Yeah.
I really don't. I'm good. What do you got?
Okay. Weizie.
All right.
You got anything?
I got this thing for my birthday. My neighbor gave it to me. It's not a toy. It's actually a.
What's your name?
Whoa. Oh. It's a desk lamp. Right? It's a lamp. But like it's a UFO. And then
I love lamp.
Lamp.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
So
okay.
So my thought is if I can unglue this base, pop this bottom off.
No, it looks like War of the Worlds.
No, I'm going to 3D print an alien to put inside of this. So it looks like he's being beamed up to his ship. That's my goal.
That's awesome.
Nice.
And I'm thinking I might do Paul because I just got that file for Paul and just have Paul in there like he's getting beamed up. That's
Paul's awesome. He's a good character. He's funny. The show's funny.
Yeah. I love that movie.
Johnny, what you got, man?
So this came in because he's got came in the mail. Oh yeah.
Sorry.
So this is a Batman '89 Hot Toys figure.
No, it's actual Hot Toys.
Very
cool. Wherever the hell the sideshow. That's actual Hot Toys.
Yeah, it's actual Hot Toy. And those of you guys coming out in November.
Ooh, snap!
You'll be able to get your hands on one of these.
Oh.
So we'll have that bad boy out there. We'll have plenty of stuff out there.
Very cool. Shellheads, I wish we had anything other than the website. But again, thank you guys for coming out. Johnny, thank you again. GFI Toys, free shipping. Weizie, you got nothing, no free shipping.
Well, no free shipping. No, I charge for shipping. You want nothing? I'm gonna charge you. So you know what?
If you guys haven't already, please like. What?
One thing. Last week.
Now you're glitching out.
No, last week you said oh, I'm not here to
But-
be famous and make money, right? That was the whole thing. I was like, yo, I'll make money.
Right.
And yet,
I'm famous, but yeah, go ahead.
But yet this week you're like, here's my merch. I'm just saying. I don't want to make money. Here's my merch.
Hey, look. I'm not trying to be famous to make money, but here's my merch. I'm awesome. Not really. I suck. Guys, have a great night. I love having you all here. Shellhead Toys, everybody, like Johnny, the whole deal, Weizie. Guys, have a great night. Fuck it, man. We're out. And as always,
Nutcakes.
I'm in danger.
Yeah.